Hello, welcome to Old Nerd Reads his Marvel Comics in Order. This is episode 9. I read Fantastic Four 155, 6, and 7 this time. These are the first 3 of the main series Fantastic Four issues. I read annual number 3 before this, as it came out right before this storyline. These are the earliest of, like I say, the main title issues that I have. These are from late or from early 75. This is from right from the beginning of 1975. In this story arc, the Silver Surfer is kind of the villain for the first issue. Something interesting about this 3-issue arc, Len Wein wrote this issue. Len Wein and Roy Thomas wrote the second issue, and Roy Thomas wrote the third issue. And that's because Roy Thomas took over as writer for the title full time during this issue. He was editor-in-chief to begin with, but then him and Len Wein kind of flipped, and Len Wein became the editor-in-chief, I believe, after this. These people were mostly at this time, like Roy Thomas, Len Wein, they were writer-editors. They edited their own writing. So that was something when Jim Shooter came in a few years later, I think he did away with, and that's why like Roy Thomas and a few other people left Marvel, is because Jim Shooter said you can't edit your own scripts, which makes sense, but I think that was a reason for Roy Thomas going over to DC Comics for a while anyway. But this issue is cool because in the letters page, there is a letter from future comic book writer Peter B. Gillis. In just a few years from this issue, which he wrote into, he'd be writing, I think he started off at DC, just doing some odd issues here and there, and then came to Marvel, and the majority of his bibliography is Marvel stuff. He wrote The New Defenders, he wrote Doctor Strange, he wrote a little bit of Spectacular Spider-Man, he did quite a bit of stuff. He just passed away here a couple of years ago too. I don't think he was really old, but I think he may have been in poor health. But that's the interesting thing about this issue, the first issue of this story. Peter B. Gillis wrote in a letter, and they answered his letter and said that they couldn't publish the whole thing. It was too long. I guess he'd written out some long, convoluted theory of time travel that was addressed in the story arc prior to this. I don't know what that story is, but it's just funny that he became a future writer, and he'd written a big long thesis, I guess, about time travel into the letters page of Fantastic Four. So that's really neat. This issue's cool. Silver Surfer ambushes the Fantastic Four. He's doing it because Doctor Doom is using him to do it. Doctor Doom has captured Silver Surfer's true love, Shala Bal, and mind wiped her and made her his wife. So that's why Silver Surfer has to do what Doctor Doom says. He sent the Silver Surfer to kill the Fantastic Four, but the Silver Surfer's a hero. He just knocks him out, brings him to Latveria, to the Castle Doom. And I love it. Some of these pictures by Rich Buckler of Doctor Doom, you can see like in this one, you can see a future when John Byrne, my favorite run on Fantastic Four was a John Byrne run, and you can see I think John Byrne was inspired by Rich Buckler a little bit with his Doctor Doom drawing. But I love Doctor Doom. Anytime Doctor Doom's in the Fantastic Four, I'm there. Great splash page, Rich Buckler and Joe Sinnott. But Doctor Doom, he has plans buried in plans, and his ultimate plan is to Doombot. The ultimate plan of Doctor Doom is to siphon off the power cosmic from the Silver Surfer and insert it into this android he's created called the Doomsman. And this is Doomsman 2, we find out. Apparently before this there was an original Doomsman, but this is the new and improved one powered by the Power Cosmic siphoned from the Silver Surfer. Doombot. That's another big thing in the John Byrne run. There's a lot of Doombots. Like Doombot was just kind of like a trick that the writers would use on the readers, because the Fantastic Four would think they're fighting Doctor Doom, and they'd knock his block off and find out he's a Doombot. It happened all the time. But here's the Doomsman, powered up with the Power Cosmic from Silver Surfer, and Doom's gonna sick him on the Fantastic Four. This was something I thought was pretty interesting. Where is it? It's not there yet. There's an ad in here. I'll find it. That's pretty interesting. But more get a job, loser stuff. Doomsman, he attacks. Sicked on the Fantastic Four. The Fantastic Four actually make pretty quick work of him, though. I was surprised. He only had a couple pages before he was defeated. Here it is. This is an offer from Marvel. Buy 12 comics for the price of 8, and then you can sell them at cover price and keep the profit. This was just, I don't know. This must have been a way of Marvel of like liquidating maybe some of their stock or something, or I don't know. I'd never heard of that before, but all three of these issues have this ad in it, and I'd never seen that before. I thought that was pretty neat. And Marvel, you can tell, like, this is right a couple years after Stan Lee kind of left Marvel, the editor-in-chief duties and writing titles. He went off to like sell Hollywood Marvel, make TV shows and movies of Marvel Comics and the characters and whatnot. But at the same time, he was like going around and licensing Marvel to, like, you can get a belt buckle, posters. These comics at this time were full of Marvel merchandise, which Marvel itself sold, I think. But like, it's one of the value stamp things was if you fill out your Marvel value stamp, you can send it in and get 10% off everything that Marvel sells in perpetuity. It was pretty neat. The Marvel. Where's the value stamp? This issue doesn't have a letters page, so there's no Marvel value stamp in this one. The other two have one, and they explain that in the bullpen bulletins and one of these earlier issues, that if a comic doesn't have a letters page, it won't have a Marvel value stamp. So people, I guess, were asking questions like, where's the Marvel value stamp in here? Again, I believe John Byrne drew Doctor Doom in this same exact pose in one of his issues of the Fantastic Four. It seems like it to me anyway. But yeah, if you didn't have a letters page, you didn't get no value stamp. Does this one? Oh, here's the origins of Marvel Comics. I still see this for sale every once in a while, like at a Comic-Con or in somebody's comic shop. You'll still see these sitting out for sale. I guess it was a big hit, this first one. It was a big enough hit that they commissioned Stan Lee to write the follow-up to it, Son of Origins, I think it was called. And here's a calendar that they made, another thing that they were selling. Maybe this doesn't have... It must, because this is the one with Peter B. Gillis's letter. How did I lose that? Come back. Where'd you go? Come back. I can't find it. Oh, there it is. Nope. Holy cow. Anyway, these two have a letters column, even though somehow, like, must be through with Power Cosmic or Doom's time platform, it got teleported out of that issue for some reason. I can't find it now. That's funny. But the Marvel value stamp thing's still going on, and that's a deal breaker for my collection. Like, if there's a Marvel value stamp cut out, I'm gonna try and replace that issue with an intact value stamp and get rid of the one with a hole in it. But anyway, the next thing is a 2-issue arc. Fantastic Four 158 and 159. That's an Inhumans arc, and Medusa, who's been in the FF for a while, I think that's her last story arc. She goes back with the Inhumans afterwards, and Sue Storm comes back rejoins the team after being on basically on maternity leave. I don't think Reed would let her be on the team after Franklin was born or something like that. But she for a long time, she's been not on the team. So next little story arc that I'll be reading while I'm reading my comics in order will be her return. Anyway, please like, share, and subscribe. I'd like you to comment down below if you have any good trivia on any of these issues or anything that I talked about or anything that I got wrong. Correct me in the comments. I always like to hear all the facts and details about these things. That's why I'm reading my collection in order. Hope you're strapped in for the long haul, because this is going to take a long time to get through my whole Marvel Comics collection. It goes through the mid 70s, all through the 80s, into the 90s, into the 2000s, even with some of it. I don't know. Maybe I'll stop once I get through like the initial run before they ended all the titles and did Heroes Reborn and Heroes Return. Maybe I'll stop there. We'll see. I don't know if that's a long ways ahead, so we'll see how far I go. But anyway, thanks for watching. Comment down below, like, share, and subscribe. Thanks for being here. See you next time.